Hey, how's it going today? It's Todd from All Music. Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for watching the channel and helping it grow. And I just want to let you know there's a few different ways that you can help support the channel. And one of those ways is watching the interviews all the way through because view time is very important to the YouTube algorithm to helping this grow. Also, like and you can comment and subscribe and click the notification bell because it's important to click the notification bell because if you don't, you're not, even though you're subscribed, you're not going to know when I put up new videos. Also, sharing is really good. So if you can share the video so other people outside of my community can find the video as well, they'll see you like it and maybe they'll want to know what you're interested in. And there's a few more things like the Patreon is if you click on the Patreon and go there, I have different types of shows on there that I can't put on YouTube for various reasons and shows that I want to do, but I need a media outlet to do that. So Patreon is a really good way to do it, but it is a paid forum. So if that is something that you're interested in, that would be super great. I also have a PayPal donation button. If you're so inclined, you can do that. And merchandise as well. Merchandise, if you want to get something for your money besides the video, I got mugs, I've got t-shirts, I've also got coffee. I've got the Life Boost coffee, which is an organic coffee. It's a really good coffee. It's not like the store-bought coffee you get in the grocery stores or at some of the coffee shops around here that's just burnt tasting or whatever. This is really quality coffee. It's a little more expensive, but that's because it's really good. And I get a little bit of money from each of your purchases. And on your first purchase, you get a nice deep discount. So I want to thank you for supporting, and let's get on with the interview. All right, bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Welcome to All Music. My name's Todd Ledbetter, and we're glad you're here for another episode. I'd like to introduce you to Jim Gustin. Welcome, Jim. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Yeah, I was really excited when you accepted the invitation. There's been a couple of times where I've seen you play out live, and even one time, I don't know if you remember, but I hit you up when I needed a guitar player for a show that didn't actually happen.
I
And
do remember that would have been fun. So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
one.
Yeah, super, super cool. I appreciate you being on today. And how have you been doing over the last couple months with stuff the way it's going on?
We're good. We're blessed. My family's all healthy and well. We're all doing well. Going a little crazy. I think everybody is ready for this thing to be over,
Yeah.
or at least get better enough that we can resume some little bit of normalcy. I've been pretty lucky in that I've been able to work this whole time, so at least I get to get out of the house every day and go to work, so it feels normal.
Yeah.
But my wife has cabin fever, something terrible, so I'll be really glad, not just for my own boredom, but just in general when people are not getting sick so much, and
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just bad all the way around. So
All the way around. Yeah. So you've been working. I was gonna, if you weren't working like some people aren't, wondering if you had time to put some extra effort into music or anything like that, or just been kind of normal days for you.
it's funny. It's funny you say that. I did a Facebook Live show with Tommy Marsh last night, and we both confessed that with all this extra time, with nothing else to do other than work and be home with lots of time, that we should have been woodshedding like crazy and just out of this as just phenomenal guitar players. Instead, we were both extremely rusty because we haven't practiced nearly enough. So
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
I've wasted an opportunity a little bit. But
That's all right. You've been working, so you have an excuse there, Well, that's cool. I was checking out some of your music, and you've got several albums out that I've noticed. Like, was it three?
we have 3 albums out.
Three
Yes.
albums, yeah. And you got a brand new one out.
Yes, we do. It's called Lessons Learned, and I'm never going to name another album Lessons Learned because I've learned a ton of lessons in the making of the album and since the album was done. I guess we're never actually through learning our lessons. I think as we get older, you realize, man, you think you got it figured out, but you just don't. And there's always something else to learn. And this COVID-19 thing, our record release date was March 27th, and basically everything got shut down about March 15th. I'd already paid for all the promo and publicity, and we had a big giant CD release party planned with a bunch of kind of semi-famous guests, and the whole thing went out the window. And it's just about the worst case scenario as far as releasing a new record at this time. You know, I'm blessed. I don't have to sell a million copies to put food on the table. I have a day job. I have a good day job. So, you know, there's certainly people that are a lot worse off than me. Guys that were on the road, you know, in the middle of a tour, just had to turn around and drive home. You know, people that I don't know how anybody who makes a living playing music is surviving at this point. I mean, it was difficult enough as it is, since people, you know, in a sense, quit buying music a few years ago.
Right.
And the only way to get any money was by playing gigs, and those pay half of what they paid 15 years ago. And things have only gotten more expensive. So my heart really goes out to those people that it's their passion to play music, and have chosen that as their way to put food on the table. Those people are really struggling, and you know, I know there's been some benefits to help those guys, but man, you know, at this point, it'd be hard not to rethink, you know, man, I got to find a different line of work, because there's just, the revenue stream is just not there regarding music anymore. Oh, I lost you, Todd.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And you know, even though you're not maybe making music or making money playing music, I guess you got to mow lawns or something, you know, until you can get back to it, whenever that's going to be.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, anytime you lose a job, but at least you got the album ready, and you can, you know, once things kind of get opened up, and we'll see what happens with the venues, you know, you can still do your release party, and I'm sure it's going to be even a more exciting event at that point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Who knows when we're actually going to be able to get out and get in big groups again, you know, whether it's at church or you know, at the clubs.
Yeah.
I'm certainly looking forward to both of those things, but
Right.
you know, the album's doing well. I think as of right now, it's still number 6 on the contemporary blues chart. So
That's amazing.
It's our best album chart wise, and certainly our best album. It's the one I like the best. I'm the most proud of it. I think the songs are the best. We've had some really good moments in the first 2 records, but consistently top to bottom, I think it's the most listenable album. And this was the first one that I produced.
Oh, you did it. Yeah.
Yeah, this was the first one. I worked with a guy named Terry Wilson. He's married to Teresa James. He played with Eric Burden for 20 years and is just a legend, just been around forever. And so he really just did everything on the first record. And by the time we made the second record, it was a little different. You know, I heard somebody say you have your whole life to write your first record and about 6 months to write the rest. And so the first record had a fairly large diversity in music. You know, a lot of them were songs from, you know, we played at church, some of those. There's some country in there, some rock in there, and some blues in there. And the second album was a little more focused, at least stylistically, in that it was called Memphis, and we really went for kind of a Memphis Stax record kind of groove on that thing. And this one, we didn't have any preconceived notions at all, and it's a blues record. I think it's our, without trying, I think we've become blues artists more than what was intentional. But the second record, Terry and I, you know, Terry still did 80% of the work, but I had a little more say in how things, because everything I know I've learned from Terry. So, you know, he taught me a lot of stuff. When you, as a musician, you know, recording music is another form of being a musician. Really, you're taking the music and you're putting it together in such a way that the listener understands it and can relate to it. It's not any different than the way you kind of craft a song, the way that you sing or perform a song. You take your knowledge and your experience and you put it together in such a way that it has the maximum effect on the listener. And producing a record is the same thing. It's more about song arrangement and the parts that everybody plays, what those parts sound like rhythmically and sonically, and is it messy, and all of that stuff, and it comes together. The producer has to think about all of those things ultimately towards this vision that the producer has of what this song is going to sound like. And so I was able to produce this one, although I did have Terry hold my hand a few times. Like, he mixed it and mastered it. He was there when we recorded the bed tracks, the bass, drums, and guitar live. I kind of wanted him there to hold my hand. He had a few suggestions. Some we took, some we didn't. But I just felt better knowing that he was there. And I used Pro Tools for pretty much everything. And learning Pro Tools is a never-ending. I don't know if you do any of that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a deep learning curve for sure.
Yeah, I watched endless YouTube videos on how to do the most basic things, and I found that even Terry or lots of guys I know that use these digital audio workstations, you can't just call somebody on the phone and they tell you how to do it. It never worked, not a single time.
Yeah.
And there were moments when I was trying to learn it where I couldn't even turn the thing on and make noise come out for 2 or 3 weeks. And I would watch video after video and click button after button until finally I figured out it's always something stupid.
Yeah.
If I'd had one of those guys come over, they would have said, "Oh, it's just this, click, boom." Yeah. And so, once you figure out how to work it, it's an amazing tool. It saves so much time and money compared to the old days when we would record, on tape. It's probably the musicianship in general has suffered as a result of that. You don't have to play as flawlessly. You can have endless takes without any loss of fidelity, and you can move things around slightly. And so it's forgiving from a musician perspective, although I believe in general, the musicianship worldwide has kind of suffered with the advanced technology.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, there's people out there that are very proficient, and but there's a lot of people that are making music right now that don't really have the same talent. Your album, your new album, it sounds great top to bottom, and each song really represents a different style. And I mean, although it's coherent, it's it's not the same song over and over, and it sounds really good. So you obviously learned Pro Tools because it really came out nice.
Well, that's it's funny you mentioned that, because I tried to learn as much as I could from Terry, and that's one thing that he spoke about early on, that every song on the record, he says, should have a different dance. Every song should have a different feel to it. Don't put too many minor songs in a row. Mix your major and minor, but every song should feel different. I mean, unless you're Boston, every song can't sound the same on your record.
Yeah.
And so I was really happy with the way that it came out, and just thrilled. And again, it gets getting lots of airplay. I wish that we could go out and perform and sell copies, because that's really the only way that you sell any CDs, is just to get out and perform.
Yeah. Well, let me pull up Spotify real quick, and let's see. Did I even load it yet? Yeah. Here it is. And let's take a look at it. I have your let's see, your Memphis album pulled up, but I was gonna go back lessons learned here. That's your new one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. These are great songs. I listened to the whole thing today twice.
Cool.
I started took my dog for a walk, and I ran back and got my phone so I can listen while I was walking. Then I was like so impressed I listened to it again. So let me ask you, I know what song I want to hear.
Okay.
What song what song would you pick out of these for to introduce yourself to say to
I don't know. It's odd. The songs I get the data from my radio promoter about the number of airplays for each song, and they were not the songs that I thought would be popular at all.
Really?
My least favorite song on the record has gotten the most airplay. So I'll tell you what it is. It's Never Forget. To me, it's my least favorite song on the record, and it has gotten the most airplay. And that really surprised me.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's the lyrical content, or what the deal is. And I found this to be true in all of my records. The songs that I think are going to be a real hit, not so much. They end up liking some song that to me was just a middle of the pack kind of song on the record. But in this case, it is literally my least favorite song on the record that's gotten the most airplay.
Well, that's a good sign because they just get better from there, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But one thing that which I already knew, there's a female vocalist on your album as well. Sometimes she's lead, sometimes you guys are harmony, and then sometimes you guys share lead vocals during the song, which is a great dynamic.
Right. And that's Truth Jones or Jerry Goldenhar, and it's really makes us a bit unique, particularly with blues bands.
Mm-hmm.
Blues bands seldom have multiple lead singers, and there's very little vocal harmony in the blues. If you listen to your traditional blues, there's no background. Muddy Waters or B.B. King, they didn't have background singers. There's no harmony in what they do. So that's a big part of what we do. So it makes us a tad different. Playing the blues kind of has that catch where you got to color outside the line so it's not the same old boring stuff you've heard a million times. But if you color too far outside the lines, you're not playing the blues anymore. So that's the trick. So the cool vocal thing kind of helps us to do that.
Well, it worked out great. So I still the question remains, what's
avoiding it?
I just want to know if I'm going to have the same song in mind.
Well,
but there's several that I really like, but
there's my favorite song, and there's the one that I think would be the most popular. I thought I'd Been Drinking would far and away be the hit single on the record.
I do like that song a lot. I was going to mention that. Yeah.
It barely charted.
Oh.
And I don't understand the whole chart thing. It's received like the third most airplay, but it's, as far as chart action, it's barely cracked the charts just when the album first came out. Since then, it hasn't done anything. My favorite track on the album is either Three Things or My Love Is True.
Okay.
And those are a challenge for radio in that they're not very genre specific. Neither one is really a blues song, and that's our market.
Yeah.
So, but those two are probably for me the best song that when I listen to the lyrics have the most meaning for me.
Well, all the songs are great. The one I really like is Rock Slide.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. I like it because I like the bass line in that.
Okay. You're a bass player. So, yeah.
I think it's a cool bass line. I really like that. All right, let's play one. What do you want to hear?
Let's play Rock Slide.
All right, let's do it. Rock Slide it is. So this is Jim Gustin from his brand new album. You can see there 2020. It was just released March what?
27th.
March 27th. Okay. And this is from the album Lesson Learned, and we're going to play Rock Slide. Let's check it out.
Driving down the road, I didn't see the warning signs. Till there was nothing that I could do. I didn't see the right side coming.
was awesome. See what I mean about that bass line?
Yes, I know.
I love that
All right,
boo doo boo, that note up there.
that's
And he was
God.
killing it on the bridge too.
Player. He's a guy that when we go to a jam, I'm always so proud. I have such a great band, and Scott in particular will show up at a jam and he'll show up and play, and he can, he's a good bass player. First of all, I mean he's just solid, but he can solo. I mean, when he does a bass solo, I mean bass players just sit there and just go, and
Yeah.
so it's unusual, but I try to, in a big long set, give him at least a couple little bits to show off because he's so good and he's just the greatest guy. So, there's an interesting thing about that song, Rock Slide. So, Jerry, Truth Jones, either she writes the songs, at least the lyrics, and she'll email them to me and I'll, maybe she has some sense of a melody, but she tends to write like this much and I only need, 16 lines.
Yeah.
And so I tend to carve that stuff up, or sometimes it'll be a collaboration. We'll have an idea and we'll email back and forth, kind of put it together in an email. And so this particular song, she's real prolific as far as songwriting. So she writes all the time. I only write when I need to write, unless something just appears to me out of the sky, which happens sometimes. But so she writes all the time. So when it was time to start working on songs for the album, which is about a year before the record, I really wanted to have the songs, go out on the road, play the songs so they're battle tested. So when we go in the studio, boom, we got it. I didn't want to write in the studio or do any of that stuff. I wanted to take our songs and boom. So she, it was time, year before. And so I started going through this endless list of songs she had sent me, of lyrics. So I see this song Rock Slide and I start reading. I'm like, yeah, I like this. This has a thing to it. So I start cutting stuff out and getting rid of that and putting my own stuff in here and there, which I do all the time. And so the song is done and I'm like, gosh, I'm really happy about this song. So I'm all excited and I send it to her off on an email. She sends me back. It's not 2 minutes later. She says, you cut every line in the song except for the title. Come on. No, you got to look at the original. You cut every single song, every single line in the song except the title. And I'm like, well, you get co-writing credit. You didn't have to do anything. So,
There you go.
although for her, she tends to write the more angrier, sad, darker stuff, while she says everything I write is rainbows and unicorns. So
Nice.
the happy songs are, tend to be mine. So she took Rock Slide as a bad thing. I took it like I wasn't looking to fall in love when I met my wife, and now I'm caught up in it. It's the greatest thing ever. But that was not what she had in mind. So,
Well, I think it should be pointed out too that not only are you singing on that song, but you're playing guitar and you're playing lead guitar. And that was a ripping lead there at the end of the song. That was great.
Thanks.
Love it. Yeah. And just make sure people understand what it is you're doing there. That you've got that voice. Boy, I tell you what, that is a powerful, unique voice.
It's all I got, man.
Well, it works perfect. It works perfect for you.
Yeah, I'm not the guy that's going to be good at singing lullabies, but that's what I got. So, it's that's part of the reason that it helps so much having Truth Jones, Jerry, with me, because she has a prettier. She doesn't have any rasp at all in her voice, so the blend, is kind of nice. So you don't have to listen to, my nasty voice, for 10 or 11 songs. There's a contrast, and it's odd because I write the happy songs with the evil voice, and she writes the evil songs with the happy voice.
Yeah. I saw an interview with Peter Gabriel one time, and it's like, why do you the interviewer saying, why do you always have women singing on your like he had Sinead O'Connor, he had Kate Bush singing on a different album. And he says, because who wants to hear my voice the whole album,
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good blend, though. It goes together really well. And at the end, you can really hear where she was not only harmonizing, but she was also,
doing that gospel ad-lib stuff.
Yeah, she was punching it there at the end with some vocal ad-libs for sure. Yeah, that's a great song. That's a fun song. It just gets you up and moving, man. That's good stuff. Yeah, yeah. What kind of guitar are you playing?
Gosh, I used a bunch of different guitars with the album. I play an Epiphone 335 on a lot
Nice.
of it. I played a couple different Strats. I played a Tele a little bit. I'm not sure what I played on that particular track. My guess, since it's a rock song, I probably played one of my Strats
Mm-hmm.
on the lead. For the rhythm tracks, I played my 335 on everything. So,
Nice.
but for the leads, when I wanted more of a rock thing, I went with that.
Yeah, I love the hollow bodies. I love the 335 styles. That's why I bought my son a Guild
Nice.
Starfire, I think.
Right.
Right. It's a sort of a 335 hollow body style, and I love that thing. It sounds so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd never be anything but a Strat guy, but you know, some of the guys that I admire, Joey Delgado and Chris Kane, I just love their tone with their 335s, and I got one, and I'm a big guy. I don't know if you can tell here, but even Strats look small on me. I've had people come up to me and say, "Is that some sort of mini guitar that you're playing?" So the bigger body guitar that it is, the more natural it looks on.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed. I recently got a bit of an endorsement deal with Bootlegger Guitars, so they have a hollow body, although it's a smaller hollow body, so it makes it look even. You know, you expect a hollow body to be giant. When you put a smaller hollow body on me, it makes me look even larger. But so I've been playing these Bootlegger guitars lately, which sound really good, and they're. I would encourage you or anybody to look at them. They're a great bargain for the money, especially. So really happy to hook up with those guys.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's finish up with one more song. Do you have let's let you pick from whatever album you want.
Let's do if you listen to it today, let's do either Three Things or My Love Is True. So
and that's on the same album, right?
Yeah. I think it's one of the last couple.
Okay, I like wait a sec. Three Things.
Call it.
Three Things is there, or My Love Is True. Yeah, which one do you want to hear? I like them both.
Let's go with My Love Is True.
All right, let's do it. So My Love Is True.
Shines like the sun. Oh, babe, you're the only one.
When the sun is bright and the skies are blue, oh, babe, my love is true.
Sometime, oh, storms blowing,
and the clouds
perfect. See, there's that perfect blend of your, her singing, you singing, and then harmonizing together. I mean, that is just a great sound, and that saxophone player, man.
Oh,
Woo.
Lawrence Tamez, he is so great on that. He's we went to Memphis and we competed in the IBCs, and really we made it to the semifinals, which was really good. It's I guess more than I'd hoped, but I think having Lawrence on the saxophone kind of, again, between the two vocals and having that amazing sax player, just kind of set us apart a little bit, I think, from some of the other bands. And again, just blessed with an amazing band. Steve Alterman plays beautiful piano on that song.
Gorgeous.
It's just very, very blessed. So
Yeah, so that's like the IBC. It's like it's a sort of a blues society competition.
yeah, all the blues societies around the world, you have to have a competition in your local blues society, and the winner goes to Memphis, and there's, I don't know, 300 bands from all over the world, and everybody's great.
Yeah.
Because again, you got to win. You have to beat you have to be the best in your area to go, and it's particularly tough in Southern California. The Delgado brothers from Southern California won the whole thing 3 or 4 years ago. The bands the last 2 years from our blues society came in 3rd overall, and so we underachieved by just making the semifinals. But it's strange. I think there was 4 bands from 4 blues societies in Southern California sent bands, and all 4 made the semifinals. So if you want to win your regional, your local blues society in Southern California, you have to have IBC semifinal caliber talent just to get there. So everybody's really, really good, and it's an amazing thing. They block off Beale Street for a week, and you play for, there's 20 clubs, and everybody has live music, and the competition goes on, and all of the, there's 6 or 8 bands in each room, and the music's just amazing, and everybody from the blues community is there, and I guess, for most people, nobody knows who anybody is. For me, as a blues fan, and I'm walking around there, and these are the guys I listen to every day, just walking around. They have these jams that go to 4 a.m, once the competition is over. So everybody in the blues community is there, and it's amazing how small of a community it really is. So again, just you can look at the top 40 on the blues chart, and half of those guys are there walking around on Beale Street, and you can, if you're fortunate enough, you can get up at jam and get to play with those guys. So it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to go to one of these days. It seems kind of, even though music in a competition sense might seem kind of weird. Oh, you're competing at music, but it just seems like to be able to go to an event like that, and just to be able to be around, like you said, be around all these people that you love and that you listen to, and just have a sense of community there. I know that's what it is, and I can guarantee you that I know that it's not a punch out competition between people.
No, everybody's super nice.
Yeah.
It's similar to the NAMM show, which you've probably been to. Sure. Where you go there, you go there for 2 or 3 days, and then you go back to work and you try to explain to people how great it was, but they don't get it. Yeah. You can never explain to your coworkers what that is like, just being surrounded by hundreds or thousands of your peer group that understand all of your music struggles that you're going through. Yeah. So it's really a cool thing. We don't do enough of that, and again, the blues community and the blues societies, at least the ones I've been a part of, super supportive. Yeah. Different than when I was playing the Hollywood clubs in the 80s. When I had long hair and was wearing spandex, and we'd all hated each other, and there was fights. Right. It's a really different thing now, but we've all mellowed with age. But
what blues society do you belong to? What's your local?
I belong to the SoCal Blues Society, the LA Blues Society, and my home blues society is the Santa Clarita Blues Society. Okay. And I did belong to the Ventura Blues Society. I don't know if it exists still anymore. It's in a state of flux at the moment. So it was arguably the best of the blues societies. So I hope they're able to pull that together.
Yeah.
Ventura County has an amazing blues fan base, and I really hope they can pull that together.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, I was not a big blues guy growing up, but I sure got into it in the recent years, and even started a few blues bands, and
Right?
really made some great friends out of that. That was a really good experience for me. Well,
Yeah,
Jim,
it's go ahead.
no, please go ahead.
Yeah, it's strange because I wasn't a blues fan growing up either.
Hmm.
Again, I played heavy metal in the 80s,
Yeah,
and I played country for 10 years and then classic rock for 15, 20 years. And then I came to be a blues fan through these other genres of music, through rock and country. And you find out these songs that you're playing, are 50 years old and
yeah,
somebody else played it. And even the Led Zeppelin version that is a cover tune of somebody else that did it. So I came to the blues, from rock and roll. And I recently started a radio show on KHUG 97.5 on Sundays at 11, or khug.rocks. And I do a segment every show where I take, which is kind of a rock standard classic, and I play the original. So this week I played One Way Out by the Allman Brothers. We've all heard it a million times, right?
sure.
It's an Allman Brothers song, right? Well, I found out pretty recently it was an old Elmore James song. So I
Oh,
play the Elmore James song. So that's kind of my one thing I do that has any consistency on the radio show every week.
yeah, I was really, really glad to sort of delve into the blues and sort of get rooted into that. And I can appreciate not only the blues when I hear it, I mean, really love it. I actually really love it. And, but also, what people have done over the years with the blues, and to realize that a lot of the music that we grew up with came right
Right.
out of the blues. And some of it was just a blatant, cover of blues songs. Yeah, super awesome. I really, really love playing the blues. And I played with some pretty good blues guys around town in the recent years, and feel really fortunate. So that's always been fun. So
Nice.
yeah. Well, hey, I don't want to go on too long. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And people have short attention spans on the internet. So I appreciate you coming in, Jim, and letting us play a couple of your songs. And I'm sure people are going to enjoy these when I get this uploaded, because they're fantastic. And I want to put some links in so people can find your music. Is there other places besides Spotify where they can get your CDs direct, or anything like that, or websites?
You can find us on Facebook, Jim Gustin and Truth Jones on Facebook. You contact us. It's obviously best for us if you buy it directly from us. But
Yes.
you can buy it from Amazon Music or Apple Music. Anywhere you buy music, you can buy it. But yeah, if you want to support us directly, the best way is just to get a hold of us. You can Venmo us and we'll mail you out a copy. That works out
Great.
the best.
Yeah, I'll put your Facebook link up in the description of the episode here, and that way people can check that out. I really highly encourage you to get that and listen to the whole thing, because it is just as good. Every song is just as good as the two we heard. That is for sure. Yeah, that last song was very, very good, because that's the third time I heard it, and I was like, okay, yeah, really started to feel it this time. Sometimes when you hear a song a few times, it really grows on you. All right, Jim. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking with you. I'm so appreciative of your music, and you just taking the time to jump on the internet with me and do this. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Todd. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah.
We need more of that. So thank you so much. Blessings to you and your family, man.
Thank you. You as well. I appreciate it. All right. Now here's the part. Jim Gustin. Fantastic. That was a great, great interview. He's a really great, nice guy, and as you obviously heard, fantastic music. So I encourage you to check out some more of his music. And he's got 3 of those albums out. So one is just as good as the other. But like you said, there's a brand new release. So you want to check that out. Let me just show you that album one more time. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, Lessons Learned. So Jim Gustin and Truth Jones 2020 just released, and it's got a good amount of songs on, not too many, but enough but not too little either. It's a perfect amount of songs. So definitely check that out. Um, I want to thank you guys for watching the show today, and Look forward to more episodes coming up soon. Got lots of people ready to roll. Got a lot of interviews scheduled. So we're going to keep this rolling for as long as we can. Just a quick reminder, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit the notification bell, and it really helps the algorithms here on YouTube to help grow the channel. If you can kind of connect with what we're doing here and just sort of participate and leave a comment is really, really helpful as well. So do that, and we're very appreciative that you made it this far in the video if you did, and we will check with you next time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.